I really want to help you obtain a Pokemon card grail. That is why I am going to give away $1,000 to one lucky subscriber. The only caveat is it has to be spent on Pokemon cards. And if you want to win, here's what you have to do. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and then leave a like and a comment on this video right up here. Come back on February 23rd, Friday, February 23rd, where we will announce the winner at the beginning of the video. Good luck. 3 days. We are 3 days away from our first 1K giveaway. I'm really excited about the 1K giveaway, and there's a variety of reasons that I'm excited about. Number one is because it's the chase, right? Like, the chase is super exciting. Like, I told you guys to comment, just comment, but I want to know, like, what your grail is, what your chase is. Like, that's really, really important because that's what this 1K is going to go to. It's the chase. I get to go out there. I get to look around. I get to try and find something that you really want to obtain. And it's also, the second main reason is because it's the story. Like, I really hope whoever wins, we can record some sort of content. We can record some sort of dialogue. Why this chase is so important to you, what it means to you, what it defines you as. And I think that that's a really fun story that we can tell. And I'm really excited about the 1K giveaway. And we'll do another one in the not so distant future. We'll keep doing stuff like that because I think it's kind of a cool concept rather than just giving you, hey, here's a random ETB or here's a random booster box. I think trying to break down something specific for you guys as part of the family, as part of the fan clan. I think that that's a really, really cool thing, a really special thing that we can do together. So we will have a Temporal Forces Master Set giveaway. We will have hopefully another giveaway at the end of the month, but I'm really excited about the 1K giveaway. So we got 3 days left for that. That will be announced on Friday, but I'm not here to talk about the giveaway. I do want to ask you guys a question, and I start out a lot of videos with questions, but I honestly want to know what your thought process is on this. So please comment down below and let me know what you think is the most hyped set over the past 5 years. Not your favorite set, not the set that you enjoy opening the most, but what you think is the most hyped set, the set that got the most hype over the past 5 years. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm going to give you my answer. And for me, I think it's Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies is just such a beautiful set. It just hits differently. It came out like at the perfect time. We obviously had a huge influx of popularity and demand when it came to the Pokemon hobby, right around the release of Darkness Ablaze, Champion's Path, and then leading into Vivid Voltage. We ran into all these supply issues with Vivid Voltage. And honestly, a lot of people look back on some of those early Sword and Shield sets, and they're not too hyped about them anymore. They're not too excited about them. They're more excited about the back half of the Sword and Shield era because that's where it's got alternate arts and the trainer gallery, so pull rates look a lot better. But then we took a bit of a dive backwards after Vivid Voltage. We had Battle Styles. Not a whole lot of excitement for Battle Styles, but Battle Styles played a significant role in the release of Sword and Shield because it was the first time that we had the appearance of alternate arts returning to the hobby, because we had the alternate arts that appeared at the back half of the Sun and Moon era, and then they disappeared at the beginning of Sword and Shield, and then Battle Styles started bringing them back, and then we had Chilling Reign with the addition of the alternate art VMAX cards, the alternate art secret rare cards. Chilling Reign was just absolutely bloated, right? It brought people a little bit more excitement because you had more chase cards, more alternate art opportunities. It was over 100 ultra rares for the first time ever, and a lot of people were cracking packs like crazy. And then we had the announcement of Evolving Skies, and honestly, they threw Rayquaza in there, they threw Dragonite in there, they threw the whole kitchen sink at Evolving Skies, and people were already super hyped about it with just the evolutions. So Evolving Skies was super popular, and right away, right, booster box is selling well above what typical market pricing is for booster boxes, and selling very close to MSRP. And it was impossible for Pokemon to print enough of them to meet demand. I remember a year later, like the third or fourth print run of Evolving Skies coming out, and still, like, we had booster boxes drop down because the market got flooded with a lot of different reprints. Booster boxes dropped down to $90, $95, and ideally that was the best time to buy. Like, that was the ideal time to buy, but a lot of people were overextended in what they were spending on. And Evolving Skies, some people got to take advantage of that, and some people kind of missed out on that, but then slowly started climbing up, and then all of a sudden it just skyrocketed like crazy. And now here we are to the point where Evolving Skies basically out of print, right, out of rotation. It's not going to be in standard format anymore. Like, it's at a point now where we don't expect a whole lot, if any, reprints to really hit the market anymore. And you look at Evolving Skies, and it's like,
this is borderline $500 now at this point. It continues to hit new highs. And if you compare it to other modern sets, like I like to compare it to like Evolutions, for example. Evolutions, very, very popular set right now. When it originally released, it wasn't. And Pokemon printed a ton of Evolutions. I would argue probably as much Evolutions existed as far as what Evolving Skies existed. Like the multitude of print runs that we've had for Evolving Skies probably equals the amount of print runs that we had for Evolutions. The nostalgia, the throwback, obviously you could pull the base set Charizard artwork, a lot of excitement for that Evolution set. However, you look at Evolutions and break it down, and when it comes to single prices, what's your most expensive card in the set? Like, I understand the holographic Charizard from a PSA 10 standpoint, very difficult. Obviously, the print quality not ideal when it comes to Evolutions, but you look at your raw cards, your raw card pricing, you're spending over $800 on a booster box, because that's what Evolutions continues to climb up a little bit, despite being flat for the past couple of years now. But the price of a raw single in Evolutions, nowhere, you cannot open a box of Evolutions and pull your value. Impossible. Like, unless you grade a 10, and we did a comparison of this, even if you graded 10s in the majority of your pulls, you're still not equaling a box. There's only one card, like the holographic Charizard, that will help you. Obviously, you'll get more your value, but the likelihood of that happening is very, very slim based on the print quality that Evolutions has had. But because of the nostalgia, the throwback, and all the excitement that happened during the pandemic, during the boom, like Evolutions obviously skyrocketed. I remember buying Evolutions booster boxes, a few years after the set released from wholesale pricing. Like, it was still dirt cheap. And now we look at Evolving Skies, which only released a couple of years ago now, and it's like, obviously you can't really buy it anymore at distribution. Like, very rarely will they even have collection boxes in stock that have an Evolving Skies booster pack in it. So it makes you wonder, what is the potential for Evolving Skies, a set that has raw cards in it that are selling upwards of well over $100. Now, obviously, PSA kind of works, graded cards work backwards for Evolving Skies, because there are so many graded cards that already exist, already so many PSA 10 Moonbryons that are out there, and that keeps bringing that price down, where it gets closer and closer to that raw price. But when you still have a raw Moonbryon that is selling for close to $500, the likelihood, the possibility of you opening up an Evolving Skies booster box and still pulling your value out of it is still possible, unlike Evolutions. But you look at what the ceiling is, what the potential is of a set like Evolving Skies, and it really makes you kind of scratch your head and wonder, okay, well, did I miss the boat on Evolving Skies? Obviously, right now, with the price point that it's at, it's really difficult to answer that question. Your money, your decision, right? Like, you need to make the best decision when it comes to spending your collection dollars, because $500 for a booster box is a huge investment that you could be spending that $500 on something else that you think might do better, or something else that you want in your collection. It's a huge, huge commitment to be spending $500 on the booster box, assuming, okay, well, maybe it will hit $700, $800 in the next year or two. Like, it's just very interesting to kind of look. And that's what I love about Evolving Skies, is the guessing games that go along with it. It is so intriguing to me to kind of look at the Pokemon market and try and get a good understanding of things. And I will never tell you how you should spend your money or what you should spend your money on. That is never something that I will do. This is more just trying to give you information and really just kind of tickle your brain and make you think, okay, well, what should I do with my Pokemon card budget for this month or this week or something like that. And we're going to talk about Evolving. We talked about Evolving Skies a lot, but honestly, I could talk for days about Evolving Skies, because not only is it a good set, not only is it a fun set, yeah, I get it, pull rates are terrible. It's still beautiful artwork, but it's a very interesting set because of the demand that has followed suit. And still, here we are at a point where a lot of other Pokemon products are going in the opposite direction, and Evolving Skies continues to climb to new heights. You can see from July to December, July 2023 all the way up until December 2023. In July of 2023, this booster box hit $460, and a lot of people thought at that point, over the next couple months, okay, this is it. It's going to stay flat for quite some time, and it did. And it actually went backwards a little bit, lost about 10% of its value up until December of 2023, and then all of a sudden went from $420 in a month to $470. Like, it just jumped up an additional 15% over the span of a month. Now it's continued to climb a little bit, sitting at $489.40. That's an all-time high for Evolving Skies. You look at where it was a year ago, when it was already expensive, and it was at $350.73. So over the past year, it's gained 30% over the past year, from February of 2023 all the way up until February of 2024, from $350.73 to $489.40. Now, that's not the case with every single product in Evolving Skies. Some of them are still flat. Some of them are going in the opposite direction, especially when it comes to singles. But you're going to have that as more and more product gets opened, as more and more supply gets opened, as more and more people exit exit the hobby, it is going to drive some prices down. But even with all of that happening, because a lot of people are exiting the hobby right now, maybe making a transition to One Piece, getting into a different collectible, or maybe just focusing on life, because let's face it, the economy isn't great right now. As more and more of that happens, yeah, there's going to be stuff that goes down. That's why Pokemon has always been so cyclical. But if you look at some of the Evolving Skies products and the fact that booster boxes continue to climb to new heights, it's very, very interesting to look at. Here's the Evolving Skies Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box. And Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Boxes are also a very interesting product because there is not you have more of an endless supply of regular Elite Trainer boxes than what you do of Pokemon Center exclusive ones. And that's why you always see Pokemon Center exclusive ones sell for higher marks, because they just continue to have a limited availability. Now, Pokemon Center obviously can do what they want with their product. They could release more of these in the next month, and all of a sudden this price could go down a little bit, but continuously it is not going to stay on the website forever. It is not going to stay in stock forever. That's why you see, like, this is an exclusive product because it's got that Pokemon Center logo on that Pokemon Center. Those two words make this more so of an exclusive product than what you see from just the normal Evolving Skies Elite Trainer box. But even those are doing extremely well right now. So here's the this is the variant that's Flareon, Jolteon, Umbreon, and Leafeon. This one does a little bit better than the other one. I personally like the look of the other one better, but Umbreon just kind of carries the evolutions a little bit. You can see in February of 2023, this was sitting at 135.97. It did jump all the way up at the beginning of December, just continued its epic climb all the way up to 199.56. Now, it has backed off a little bit. It's lost about 5% over the past couple months, still sitting at 188.15. But if you look at what it's done over the past year, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, this was a $50 product when it originally came out a few years ago, or 2.5 years ago, and now selling for $188.15 is absolutely insane. Here's the normal Elite Trainer box. Obviously, we had an issue here where there was a reprint of this that came out almost a year and a half, 2 years after the release, the original release of Evolving Skies, and this brought things back down to earth a little bit. But if you look at February of 2023 all the way up until December of 2023, you know, this was a $90, $70, $80, just very slow growth. Now, you had a very interesting instance happen at the beginning of January where basically these got bought out, sold out, jumped all the way up to 120, 145. Now it has come back down a little bit, sitting at 103.43, but basically a new market price has been established because these are starting to pop up less and less at Walmarts and at different places like that. I'm not saying you're not going to find them anymore, because you might be able to go through Walmart or go through Target and see one or two of them sitting on the shelves. It wouldn't surprise me if marketing companies still had some of these in backstock and are putting them out every once in a while. But Evolving Skies Elite Trainer boxes continue to climb in price despite the fact that they had a severely late reprint compared to booster boxes and other product. Here is the Evolving Skies Build and Battle Stadiums. Build and Battle Stadiums, not a very popular product, right? Evolving Skies was the first time that Build and Battle Stadiums became a thing. And they started doing this during the pandemic because local game stores weren't able to have pre-order or weren't able to have pre-release tournaments or anything like that. So this was like, hey, bring your Build and Battle kits home, bring your Build and Battle Stadiums home, and you can have a pre-release tournament with your friends. So they introduced this whole concept of Build and Battle Stadiums, and they have not done well really ever since the release of Evolving Skies. And I don't know if they're going to be around anymore. Looking at the pre-orders for Temporal Forces, I didn't see anything for Build and Battle Stadiums. They might have dialed back on these, which will make Build and Battle Stadiums a very interesting product as we move forward, because they didn't even make it through an entire generation. Like, it basically lasted a couple of years, and now they seem to be done. And that could change, but as of right now, very interesting to look at. And you look at Build and Battle Stadiums for Evolving Skies starting out at $97.53 in February, just really blew up throughout the majority of 2023. You can see in October it kind of started to stall a little bit, hit about $120, leveled off, and now it's jumped up a little bit more, sitting at $122.48. That's an all-time high for the Build and Battle Stadiums. The Build and Battle boxes, remember the stadiums include 2 of these and an additional 4 booster packs that come with it. February of 2023, these were selling for $45.19. That was its 1-year low, but continued to climb. Very strong growth all the way up until October of 2023, where it hit that 1-year high of $57.68. It's backed off a little bit to $55.86, but only lost a couple of percentage points, relatively flat over the past few months now. If we look at the Evolving Skies Build and Battle, or the Evolving Skies Sleeve Booster Pack, booster packs continue to climb. continue to do extremely well, and I think they are going to continue doing extremely well as soon as they become less and less available, right? You are finding less and less of these out and about. I know a lot of people have found them at Publix or Hy-Vee or whatever their local grocery shop have been over the past several months, but now those success stories are starting to happen less and less, and you're seeing all of these sleeve booster packs of Evolving Skies continue to grow, and you see what it's done over the past year. I mean, in February of 2023, it was already a $7 booster pack when it's supposed to be a $4 booster pack for MSRP, but spent the majority of 2023 moving in the upward direction, came back a little bit in November before hitting a new high in December. It hit $11.53. Now it's sitting at $10.33, so well over double MSRP for a set that's released in the last few years. Here's the Evolving Skies booster pack. This one did take a step back over the past couple weeks. This one got hit really hard when we saw all those Costco tins that popped up that included an Evolving Skies booster pack, but then started growing quite a bit again. You can see in February of 2023, this was down. This is at $6.56, which is already, again, $2.50 above the MSRP level for Evolving Skies. Went up and down pretty much all year, but for the most part continued in an upward trend up until December of 2023, where it hit $8.59. But again, if you look at some of the previous sets and what you might want to compare Evolving Skies to in your head, looking at $15, $20 for a booster pack, current price point of $7.58, and that is even extremely hard to find right now. $7 for a booster pack of Evolving Skies is very difficult to find. Here's the Brion right here, still holding very strong over the past couple months. We saw this meteoric drop from basically May of 2023 all the way up until October of 2023. Some people thought, hey, this might drop down to $450, this might drop down to $400, but it has gone back up and leveled out a little bit over the past few months. Still low on the low end of the spectrum when you consider its one-year high was 652.25, but a raw Brion just goes to show you the power of some of these raw cards, some of these great artwork cards. In October of 2023, it did drop below $500. It was a sub $500 card at $491.50. Now it's leveled out, sitting at $548.67, still super expensive. We've got the alternate art Rayquaza V Max. It seems to have leveled off a little bit, but this one's a little bit more interesting because it has, unlike the Brion, continued to trend in the downward direction. Like what we just saw, this one also hit its one-year high in May of 2023. It eclipsed that $300 mark, hit that one-year high of $303.06, and then started trending in the downward direction. It hit its one-year low in December of $238.31. Now it's rebounded a little bit, sitting at $246.96, but still seems to be trending downward a little bit. The Espeon V has leveled out and started moving back north. You can see its one-year high being hit in May of 2023 of $77.45. Down in October, it hit that one-year low of $56.62. Now it's jumped up about 10% over the past few months. It's sitting at $66.87 currently. It seems to have leveled off over the last couple months. And we have the Rayquaza V, kind of following the same suit as what we saw from the Rayquaza V Max. You can see in March of 2023, it was right around that one-year high, sitting at almost $100. It hit $94.89 before starting to trend in the opposite direction. It started out very slow, and then once July hit, a lot of these alternate arts really started going south relatively quickly, and then it continued to trend downward all the way up until December. Hit that one-year low of $69.32. It's gained about 5% of that back, still sitting at $72.93. But again, following that Rayquaza V Max, this was a $100 card at one point in time. Here's the alternate art Noivern V in February of 2023. This was at a one-year high of $37.73. It lost quite a bit. You're looking at about 40% that it dropped over the next 9-10 months. In December, it hit that one-year low of $22.08. It has gained a decent amount back, so it's sitting at $28.02 currently and starting to trend back upward. A really cool card, but not performing great, but starting to kind of rebound things a little bit. I tried to hit a few different rarities in the set and show some cards that are actually performing extremely well, like this Gyarados V Max Rainbow Rare, which is at a one-year high right now. You can see in October of 2023, this is actually at a one-year low of $14.07. But look what it's done since October, and there's really no rhyme or reason behind it. Gyarados V Max is not necessarily a competitive card or anything like that would drive the market on this. It just started doing a lot better in the market, and you'll have that with Pokemon. It jumped all the way up to $23.29, which is, I mean, that's what, 60% growth over the last 5 months or so, doing extremely well. Same thing with the Darkness Energy. This can be a little bit more explained by the success of what we've seen from Roaring Moon so far, and that could go hand in hand, but this one doing extremely well since October, really since the release of Paradox Rift, and we have not had a reprint, at least that I can remember, of the Darkness Energy, the Darkness Secret Energy yet in the Scarlet and Violet block like we have from a lot of these other ones. Very flat for the majority of 2023. October was actually sitting at a one-year low of $12.26, but it's gained about 50% value over the past few months. It jumped all the way up to $18.77 at the beginning of February, and now it's sitting at $18.17 currently. currently, so performing extremely well. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Gyarados V. The alternate art just not doing very, very well. In May of 2023, it hit that one-year high of $19.08, but it's lost half of its value in November of 2023. It hit $10.06 as its one-year low. Very flat since then, sitting at $11.19 currently, and that's really just kind of the way alternate arts have been going. They seem to have leveled out a little bit for Evolving Skies, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see a few percentage point gains over the next several months or so, but a very interesting set to look at, and you can let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. If you do like the content, please hit that subscribe button down below, leave a like, leave a comment. It goes a very long way for the algorithm, but most importantly, like I said, just thanks for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I'll be back tomorrow with a stream. Until next time, peace.